वैराग्य विद्या निज भक्ति योगा शिक्षार्थमेक पुरुष पुराना श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य शरीरधारी कृपाम्बुधिर्यतमहं प्रपद्ये मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुदीनतारणम् वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. Warm welcome everyone in the study of Srimad Bhagavad Gita. So we continue our study, um, continue opulence of the Absolute chapter 10. And as we discussed yesterday, it is the soul's each and every living entity's aspiration, knowingly, unknowingly. One may be aware of it or not aware of it, but we all want to give ourselves to someone, and someone as in some person. And if we cannot find the genuine person or that bonding, that connection, then maybe some object. But we one thing is sure, we do not live in isolation. We cannot never live in isolation. So we are hankering for a relationship, we are hankering for a person or someone, and if not someone, then in material sense, we want to give ourselves to something. But we want to give ourselves, and we find in our heart of our hearts, we find a lot of joy when we actually give ourselves to someone and be in that relationship with someone. And here also Krishna is revealing himself, and it, it makes somewhat of sense that if we want to fall in love with Krishna, or even leave falling in love for now, maybe if we want to like or understand Krishna, it is good to know first Krishna a bit. It is good to know a person a bit. Then only we can see, okay, if I like the person, if I understand the person. So with this attitude, prayer, aspiration, desire that we understand Krishna a bit more, what he's actually wanting to say. And the more we understand Krishna, the more we'll understand ourselves. We have been going through this journey of studying Bhagavad Gita, and we all are finding good nourishment out of it. And this is the thing in spiritual life. The more we study Krishna, the more we find peaceful, the more we find nourished. And in outside of say Krishna conscious state setting, the more I try to study this world in isolation of Krishna, the more I try to study people, maybe so-called celebrities and of all this world. I don't know myself. I don't happen to know myself, and also I don't find myself very nourishing as well, because we have a direct relationship, soul-wise, eternal relationship with Krishna. So this is why the more we know Krishna, the more we'll know ourselves, and the more we'll find peace. So continuing with this theme, we continue with chapter 10, text 4 and 5, as we studied yesterday. So we did that. So I'll just read the Sanskrit, and I'll ask Harsha to read the translation, and then I'll ask Lucy that she can continue with the purport. Harsha and Lucy, maybe you do one paragraph each. Huh? बुद्धिर्ज्ञानमसम्मोह क्षमा सत्यं दमसमां सुखं दुःखं भवभावो सुखं दुःखं भवभावो भयं च भयमेव च अहिंसा समता तुष्टिस्तपोदानं यशो यशं भवन्ति भावभूतानां मत एव पृथग्विदाम्. Harsha, please read translation.
Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone. The different qualities of living entities, be they good or bad, are all created by Krishna.
Harsha,
And
maybe we read this. So if you read after this control of the senses paragraph
yeah, sure.
from Bhava, and one paragraph, next paragraph, Lucy can read up.
Bhava, birth, should be understood to refer to the body. As far as the soul is concerned, there is neither birth nor death. And that we discussed in the beginning of Bhagavad Gita. Birth and death apply to one's embodiment in the material world. Fear is due to worrying about the future. A person in Krishna consciousness has no fear because by his activities he is sure to go back to the spiritual sky, back home, back to Godhead. Therefore, his future is very bright. Others, however, do not know what their future holds. They have no knowledge of what the next life holds. So they are therefore in constant anxiety. If we want to get free from anxiety, then the best course is to understand Krishna and be situated always in Krishna consciousness. In that way, we will be free from all fear. In the Srimad Bhagavatam 11.2.37, it is stated, Bhayam dvitiya abhinivisheshtaha syata. Fear is caused by our absorption in the illusory energy. But those who are free from the illusory energy, those who are confident that they are not the material body, that they are spiritual parts of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and who are therefore engaged in the transcendental service of the Supreme Godhead, have nothing to fear. Their future is very bright. This fear is a condition of persons who are not in Krishna consciousness. Abhayam, fearlessness, is possible only for one in Krishna consciousness.
Ahimsa, non-violence, means that one should not do anything which will put others into misery or confusion. Material activities that are promised by so many politicians, sociologists, philanthropists, etc., do not produce very good results because the politicians and philanthropists have no transcendental vision. They do not know what is actually beneficial for human society. Ahimsa means that people should be trained in such a way that the full utilization of the human body can be achieved. The human body is meant for spiritual realization, so any movement or any commissions which do not further that end commit violence on the human body. That which furthers the future spiritual happiness of the people in general is called non-violence. So I continue. Yeah, okay.
Samatha, equanimity, refers to freedom from attachment and aversion. To be very much attached or to be very much detached is not the best. This material world should be accepted without attachment or aversion. That which is favorable for prosecuting Krishna consciousness should be accepted. That which is unfavorable should be rejected. That is called samatha, equanimity. A person in Krishna consciousness has nothing to reject and nothing to accept, save in terms of its usefulness in the prosecution of Krishna consciousness.
That's it. Tushti, satisfaction, means that one should not be eager to gather more and more material goods by unnecessary activity. One should be satisfied with whatever is obtained by the grace of the Supreme Lord. That is called satisfaction. Tapas means austerity or penance. There are many rules and regulations in the Vedas which apply here, like rising early in the morning and taking a bath. Sometimes it is very troublesome to rise early in the morning, but whatever voluntary trouble one may suffer in this way is called penance. Similarly, can't say that word. Similarly, sorry, there are prescriptions for fasting on certain days of the month. One may not be inclined to practice such fasting, but because of his determination to make advancement in the science of Krishna consciousness, he should accept such bodily troubles when they are recommended. However, one should not fast unnecessarily or against Vedic injunctions. One should not fast for some political purpose that is described in Bhagavad Gita as fasting in ignorance, and anything done in ignorance or passion does not lead to spiritual advancement. Everything done in the mode of goodness does advance one, however, and fasting done in terms of the Vedic injunctions enriches one in spiritual knowledge.
As far as charity is concerned, one should give 50% of his earnings to some good cause. And what is a good cause? It is that which is conducted in terms of Krishna consciousness. That is not only a good cause, but the best cause. Because Krishna is good, his cause is also good. Thus, charity should be given to a person who is engaged in Krishna consciousness. According to the Vedic literature, it is enjoined that charity should be given to the Brahmanas. This practice is still followed, although not very nicely in terms of the Vedic injunction. But still, the injunction is that charity should be given to the Brahmanas. Why? Because they are engaged in the higher cultivation of spiritual knowledge. A Brahmana is supposed to devote his whole life to understanding Brahman. Brahma Janatiti Brahmana. One who knows Brahman is called a Brahman. Thus, charity is offered to the Brahmanas because they are always engaged in higher spiritual service and have no time to earn their livelihood. In the Vedic literature, charity is also to be awarded to one in the renounced order of life, the sannyasi. The sannyasis begged from door to door, not for money but for missionary purposes. The system is that they go from door to door to awaken the householders from the slumber of ignorance. Because the householders are engaged in family affairs and have forgotten their actual purpose in life, awakening their Krishna consciousness. It is the business of the sannyasis to go as beggars to the householders and encourage them to be Krishna conscious. As it is said in the Vedas, one should awake and achieve what is due him in this human form of life. This knowledge and method is distributed by the sannyasis. Hence, charity is to be given to the renouncer of life, to the brahmanas, and similar good causes, not to any whimsical cause.
Yasha's fame should be according to Lord Chaitanya, Chaitanya, who said that a man is famous when he is known as a great devotee. That is his real fame. If one has become a great man in Krishna consciousness and it is known, then he is truly famous. One who does not have such fame is infamous.
All these All these qualities are manifest throughout the universe in human society and in the society of the demigods. There are many forms of humanity on other planets, and these qualities are there. Now, for one who wants to advance in Krishna consciousness, Krishna creates all these qualities, but the person develops them himself from within. One who engages in the devotional service of the Supreme Lord develops all the good qualities as arranged by the Supreme Lord.
Of whatever we find, good or bad, the origin is Krishna. Nothing can manifest itself in this material world which is not in Krishna. That is knowledge. Although we know that things are differently situated, we should realize that everything flows from Krishna. Intelligence, knowledge, freedom from doubt and delusion, forgiveness, truthfulness, control of the senses, control of the mind, happiness and distress, birth, death, fear, fearlessness, non-violence, equanimity, satisfaction, austerity, charity, fame, and infamy. All these various qualities of living beings are created by me alone.
Thank you, Harsha. Thank you, Lucy. So these qualities and actually everything stems from Krishna. So as Krishna says, this and all these various qualities, they are created by me alone, uh, by Krishna. And we understand like there has to be a source, and the whole of spirituality is to find our source, to connect to our source. Um, and who is my source? And once I find my source, meaning okay, I be in a relationship. And actually, everything if we see in life boils down to this loving relationship. For us to call something as a relationship, love has to be the core of it. Love has to be the center. It has to be all about love, actually. And if I may say, in the society we live in, there are so many songs on love, right? Bollywood, Hollywood, whichever wood we speak of. There's so many songs and books and theories of love and all. But they struggle to keep us in a loving relationship or in the loving situation condition. And the understanding of love is quite different as what we see from Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita. As we discussed previously, for the beginning is when we understand the difference between matter and spirit. That is the beginning. So love, we have to understand what is spiritual love like. The love generally on in the material platform is generally on the bodily platform, more so skin level, skin deep, and then with this materialistic bodily conscious identities oriented, and it is very much a condition depending on my agenda if that is being fulfilled or not. So all such qualities, everything stem from Krishna. Like in this purport, what we read today, Bhava, birth. Birth is of the body only, not for the soul. So for us, if we can keep this in our remembrance, that I am as old as Krishna. We are as old as Krishna is also is good, but I am as old as Krishna. This is uh, make it even more personal. Make it even more personal. Yes, neither a second less nor a second more. And we share an eternal connection which can never be broken. This eternal bond and connection. But it's just we are not facing Krishna, we are facing away from Krishna. This is why we are living in illusion, or every now and then we struggle. There's a really hard struggle for existence. But if we face towards Krishna, then there won't be struggle. Even though struggle will be there, as in pain will be there, but we need not suffer from it. Pain will be there, like Arjuna. For him, he had to go through struggle before the war and after the war as well, or during the war as well, but he wasn't suffering. So all that struggle, what will come in our life practicing Krishna consciousness, that will help us to grow only. That is there to help us grow completely. Uh, Krishna wants us sorry, Krishna wants us to love him, and he wants us to develop as much love as we can in this life itself, not prolong or leave it for another life. And as it says in purport, fear. Fear, how beautiful. Fear is due to worrying about the future. It is. Fear is like the three things, right, in life. In a way, hurry, sorry, and worry. Going quick into things without thinking. So, like, the two, one way is to act without thinking. Uh, Nike slogan, the famous one, isn't it? Just do it. So, to act without thinking. And another is to think first and then act. One is abruptly just act without thinking, and later on we may regret, oh, what did I do? Why did I do? But a good mode of goodness lifestyle is first contemplate, first think, and then actually act. Future is uncertain, and or in a way, future is the same. See, material world, what can we expect? If someone is practicing devotional service and one gets a bit sidetracked, say, practicing devotional service, one gets sidetracked so much so that he stops engaging in any devotional service activities. It won't be that much of a shock because the material energy is very, very strong. What can we expect? But if someone continues practicing devotional service with so many tests and temptations on the path and yet doesn't get deviated, wow, that is something very shocking. Like, wow, wow, what a wonderful thing. Every one of us, we will be going through tests and temptations, but if we do not get distracted, that would be such a valor thing on our part. So it is not so shocking in this material world if someone is distracted, or if someone is worrying about life. Surely, what else can we expect in this world? Vaikuntha, na? The spiritual worlds, the spiritual planets, they are named as Vaikuntha. They are called Vaikuntha. Kuntha meaning anxiety, and Vaikuntha meaning without anxiety, where there is no anxiety. So it is a place, Aname, Vaikuntha, like troubleless, diseaseless, complete. And this world, oh, every day we check. I mean, those who work in hospital, care homes, and all, they would know so much. Those who work in police departments, they would know so much. Those who work in legal affairs or immigration and all, there's so much of like stress, chaos, and things like this in this world. And it is constant. Every government is scratching their head trying to come up with this policy, that policy, but nothing is changing, just the packaging is different. Because as we discussed yesterday, tell me, please correct me if you disagree or if I'm saying anything wrong or if my understanding is not very much in line with the reality of this world. How I understand it, everything in this world is nothing but matter and its interactions. So if we multiply matter, if we add, multiply, divide matter, ultimately the conclusion what we get is matter only. But if we bring a spiritual context in our life, a spiritual background, spiritual values, then even though we are using matter, we are not becoming materialistic. Even though using matter, like we connect, right? Using some form of technology. Most of us, we have got smartphones, jobs, and things, everything, and all travel, money involved, everything. But understanding that everything belongs to Krishna. Everything belongs to Krishna. Nirbandhe Krishna Sambandhe Yuktam Vairagya Uchyate. That is the teachings of Srila Rupa Goswami. That understanding things belong to Krishna. So if things belong to Krishna, then it makes good sense that we use them for Krishna's in Krishna's service. And when we use it in Krishna's service, we get so much of joy. To share this thing, a person say owns the house. A devotee person say owns the house. So the property of the house would be in his name. That's fine, that's understandable. But in his internal mood, contemplation, in his heart of his hearts, he should know that actually this house is Krishna's. I'm just the caretaker. Huh? The money I have in the bank balance is all Krishna's, and it is by blessing that I've been provided. I'm just a caretaker. The car I own is Krishna's. I've been provided blessed. I'm a caretaker and I should use it for Krishna's service. We should use, we should engage with things and engage with people in a way that it brings us closer to Krishna. That is yoga. That is yoga. Yoga means to connect, right? So, engaging things and people which help us connect with Krishna. Otherwise, what is the point? And we see, s- is there dearth of technological advancement over the years? There's so much of technological advancement. Nowadays, like communication, it's so quick. One can be communicating with anyone, any part of the world, and it doesn't take that long. But has that improved relationships? Good technological communication, it need not necessarily improve our understanding and our relationships. Yeah, we understand. Nowadays economy, every economy is growing. People's earning capacity, spending capacity is more than what it used to be at some point, perhaps. Huh? But is it giving us good health? Is it giving us good sleep? Nowadays, is it not depression, stress have become even more common? So much so, like teenage boys and girls, they go through it, they know of it and all. And when I was growing up, I never heard this depression, stress, or what does this mean, psychology and all. No. Life, when I was growing up, life was so different then. Simple, basic, and it was so relishable. Playing with friends and uh, even media was of a different level then. Media was also of a different, but now in this fast paced world, what we are getting is fast instant stress coming about, then instant joy. So something, mm, we should understand, perhaps, is there some lifestyle change I need to make? Need not be a big drastic change, but at least some baby steps. Something, if at all I can begin with looking after my diet, that will help a lot in my sleep. Yeah, surely we need to eat something and all, But if I can somewhat regulate, discipline my diet, and come to a vegetarian diet, even if I struggle to offer food to Krishna, but at least I must come to a vegetarian diet, proper vegetarian diet, and can see if that is helping me more sleep well and creating less anxiety in me, creating less pressure and less passion in me. And with that confidence, with that motivation, I can go a bit more further, cut down. See, if I cut down on intoxication and all, finances will be so nicely managed also. My head will also be clear, money will also be there, and all. And relationships will be much better because I will be in a sane mind. If I'm under the influence of intoxication, I cannot look after myself. How can I manage any relationship? But problem is, um, every society has their problem. Ultimately, problem is material consciousness. That is the problem. Just packaging is different. And whatever society we are living in, whatever nation, whatever sort of problem, there is this alternate solution, or rather, real solution of somehow slowly, steadily transitioning ourselves into the practice of Krishna consciousness, into understanding Krishna consciousness. Not even practicing, say, first we understand of it, then we'll find our motivation, inspiration, and it's not a rush like. Then we gradually start practicing. We will practice. And what is it we will be losing? Nothing as such, and lots to gain. And it's not like that we stop sleeping or we stop eating or we stop traveling. No, devotees travel, devotees eat as well. 3 times eat so healthy, so nice. Sleep as well, sing, dance, everything. And such sweet relationships without any alcohol involved, without any tobacco involved. So much in India, so much tobacco is consumed. Many times, if we actually try to apply any common sense or logic, the mind will go crazy. In a country like India, which is deemed to be quite spiritual, it is very holy, pious, people are pious and all, but yet we'll struggle to see on one side this and another side so much consumption of tobacco, intoxication, alcohol as well. And so, person is definitely good, just the mind is not in the right place. And if we bring a bit of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita in our life, slowly, steadily, we can gear ourselves up to a higher joy in life. Mm. Then there won't be fear about future as well because we are protecting our present. Then the future will be bright. I tell you something, Krishna consciousness, not only it makes our current lives very pleasant as such, uh, not only it helps us experience, see on the bright side of life, but also on the bright side of death as well. So actually it makes the death the brightest side of our life, the brightest side of our life. Yeah, that is. From society we understand art of living. There's so many seminars and there's things on motivational, influential people and all, uh, encouraging us to make some changes and have a good, healthy lifestyle. Hmm? Krishna consciousness teaches both art of living as well and also art of dying, art of leaving our body. Uh, So adopting a little bit of spirituality in our life, we will find a motivation, a confidence, a strength, and navigate our life much more peacefully, and will appreciate life more and find more joy in life than. Speaking of non-violence, in very nutshell, if I say, um, what violence are we or doing on others? The Before doing any violence on others, it is ourselves that we are potentially committing a violence. Could be committing a violence on myself without giving myself this opportunity to understand Krishna consciousness, to practice Krishna consciousness? Is it not a violence actually on my part? And someone may not have yet come across devotees. Someone may not have yet come across Bhagavad Gita. Someone may not have yet come across the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So that may be some concession there. Perhaps yes. Yes, some concession there. But if I have come across, then at least I should rationally try to understand. But if I do not, then I am committing the most violence in myself. And if I am committing the violence in myself, within myself, I won't be happy, peaceful, integral, and what will come out of me will also be a form of cheating only upon others. So Krishna consciousness helps us to appreciate myself at body, mind, soul level. Respect my body, respect myself, respect my identity, respect my individuality, respect my mind dealings, acknowledge, appreciate, find peace within myself. And if I am at peace, at solace, at comfort within myself, at resolve within myself, then my dealings will be very different. And this is all attainable, this is all doable. And we are very blessed to have this human form of life. There's nothing in Bhagavad Gita which is impractical or which is like a lie or which cannot be put into practice. All very simple, all very practical. Equanimity. See, um, there's six events in life. I don't think so. There's anything outside of these six. Let me know. What do you think? There is happiness, sukh dukh, है ना? Happiness, distress, labh hani, profit or loss, and what? Yash apyash, fame or infamy. Nothing outside else of this. Sukh dukh, हाँ? जीवन मरण से birth death, हाँ? लाभ हानि, यश अपयश. So happiness, distress, victory or defeat, profit or loss. हाँ? Nothing outside of this. And this is a material world, a dual world. There is going to be victory and there is going to be defeat. Victory is followed by defeat, and defeat is followed by victory. That's the cycle. Happiness and distress, profit and loss. But how can we have not much attachment towards happiness, profit, and victory, and neither be so morose or averse to sadness, distress, or to loss, or to defeat, uh, or to infamy? That is what, through understanding that I am a spiritual body, I'm a spirit soul living in this material body. So there is incompatibility. Wherever there is incompatibility, okay, maybe I ask this question. Wherever there is incompatibility, is there a scope for adjustment there then? Has there to be some sort of adjustment done because there is some incompatibility? If in relationships or in some using some matter objects as well, if there is no incompatibility, then there is no adjustment required, right? Because things are at par, things are pretty much in line, everything coincide, and also there's nothing to adjust. But if there is incompatibility, there is bound to be adjustment. There's bound to be some adjustment done, as in either someone, like say in a relationship, say husband and wife relationship, we first of all, we can never find a perfect relationship. There's nothing like a perfect relationship. If at all, it is just in Bollywood or Hollywood. There's in real life, there's nothing like a perfect relationship. And that perfect relationship is there, but in the spiritual strata, in the spiritual realm. And this world is a perverted reflection of the spiritual realm. So my soul, Deep down, I'm looking for a perfect relationship, but not in the right place, perhaps, and not in the right way, also, perhaps. So, same husband and wife, they may have good compatibility, but there would be cases in some places where they do not really gel, or that there is this incompatibility. So what is there has to be adjustment. One or the other has to adjust. One or the other has to tolerate. One has. So Bhagavad Gita teaches us, look, you are not this body, spirit, soul. It's a big lesson. It's a big revelation to know, even in theory, that actually I'm not this body. I'm a spirit, soul. But my mind is throughout working like a body, and my heart now desires to act and work like a spirit soul. So there is an incompatibility. So wherever incompatibility, tolerate. So we neither be too attached to matter or sense gratification, and neither be too averse, uh, too detached, too averse to any negative, say anything sad or anything distress or defeat, like that. If we can have that some sort of tolerance, then we will be approaching towards equanimity, and we'll be finding a lot of peace within ourselves. Our speech will change, definitely. The way we speak will change. You know, people in this world, check, so much of foul language is used, so much of abusive and swearing language is used, and there must be some frustration. Otherwise, why would one does need to shout, yell, and use swearing words or abusive language, and mental abuse, physical abuse, abuse by word, speech, and all? Not required, and at least in a civilized society, civilized place, and if one considers himself or herself to be a gentleman or a gentle lady, then such language is not required. So when we come to equanimity or applying some of the principles of Krishna consciousness, there will be a our voice, speech will be changing, our the way we look after ourselves, as in body, mind, and soul. The way I look after my body, my mind, my diet, sleep, everything will be all changing or all evolving to make me further more peaceful. Satisfaction to stay, huh? Hmm. Okay, I asked this question. We asked previously also, Harsha, you might know. Who is poor in this world? Who who can be said to be poor in this world? Lucy says everyone. Yeah, true. What is the sign? What is the symptom that, based on what parameter, can I say, okay, actually he's a poor person?
Someone who continually suffers,
The first one.
just experiences emotional pain, for as one example, external or internal discomfort.
Someone who continuously suffers some sort of pain, external or internal, and based on that, we can say he's a poor person.
You're in some kind of poverty if you're not experiencing consistent joy. Yeah.
Yeah, this makes sense. If you're not experiencing consistent joy, then still there's something lacking.
Yeah.
If you're not joyous, then there's some element of morals.
Yeah, because if you think the opposite of poor is wealth, that could mean more than just money. So
Yes,
like spiritual wealth, if you don't have that, then you're poor.
sure, sure. I mean, many of this, there's, I don't think so. There's There's not like a, oh, this is the right answer sort of thing. But things like this help me a bit see more life. Can I say one who is one who considers, one who realizes that I am in need of something, he's a poor person. One who feels, who considers, who realizes I'm lacking this, I don't have this. Doesn't matter. He could be Richard Branson, he could be uh, Elon Musk, he could be whosoever. But if the person feels, oh, I do not have this, I want this, then he is poor. And in a way, we are also poor. Why? Because what is it that I do not have? I have not yet found Krishna's love. I have not yet fully gained Krishna's love. So I'm missing on that. I'm missing on that. And this sort of poverty is cherished, or this sort of understanding that I'm poor in this aspect is a healthy, very, very desirable thing. one who one who actually feels the scarcity of Krishna's presence in one's life, one who genuinely feels that, experiences that, he is actually more full. He is actually more full. So all Krishna consciousness spirituality is a very paradox principle working. Uh, One who considers himself that I am very low, he is actually high in the eyes of Krishna. So one who considers that abhav, है ना? One who feels emptiness, abhav, one who feels the kami, lacking. Oh, I do not have Krishna's association. He is actually more close to Krishna. So satisfaction. Anyone who feels like "Okay, I'm lacking on this thing, no, that man is not satisfied. We might have 10 cars, 5 houses, whatnot, this much bank balance and everything. But if we are driven, if we are driven by some goal, some, oh, I want this much, it's a sign of poverty only. And what are we wanting again? What is the best to ask Krishna from? See, since eternity, uh, what, those like generally speaking religious people, since eternity we can see we go to Krishna, we go to God, and what do we ask from God? Matter only, by and large. How many times has it happened, say, someone goes to God and asks from God for God Himself?
Would you say like asking for just peace is matter, like emotional peace?
Very nice question. So, if we approach Krishna and ask um, emotional peace from Krishna, is that a material sort of ask from Krishna? Well, thing is, first of all, if we approach Krishna, then whatever we ask, it is very appreciated. At least I am approaching Krishna. That in itself is very much appreciated. At least I recognize Krishna, I acknowledge, and I'm approaching Krishna. I'm not approaching anyone else for that matter here and there. And now, next thing is wanting peace. Okay, by peace, maybe if I can just define the peace I want is, oh, job is very stressful. I want some peace, job. My health is not so good. I want some peace with my health. My relationship is not so good. I want some peace, or some money and all which give me peace. So ultimately, it could be that this peace is like what is matter? Anything which is self-centered is matter essentially. And hmm? Yeah, anything in our human experience which is more towards self-centeredness in the sense independent of a relationship with Krishna. Not involving Krishna in the equation is matter. When Krishna is involved in the equation, then it is spirit to whatever degrees, but it is then spiritual when Krishna is involved in the equation. So the very thing that I approach Krishna asking for peace, that is not purely material, because I have involved Krishna in the equation. Krishna is there in the equation. And then when I try to strike some relationship with Krishna, I can grow further. And then what devotees would pray for Krishna to be peaceful. Krishna to be peaceful. Because I realize, oh, Krishna is my love and I want him to be peaceful. And when I see Krishna peaceful, that is what is going to give me peace. And this is the real peace. For myself, Krishna, I am happy. You have given me everything, whatever I need. And whatever ups and downs, whatever it is based on my own karmic reaction when I chose to be independent of you, of my own personal desires, own personal karmic reaction from past lives when I chose to be independent from you. But now that I love you, I know that you are my object of embodiment or hankering, and I want you to be peaceful. If you are peaceful, I will get peace. That is my definition of peace then. So this is the highest, actually, the uh, yes, yeah, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Of course. Say so. Lucy says, is it should we ask like help to understand Krishna? Krishna, help me to understand you. Krishna, help me to hear you. Hmm? You know, morning they do worship, right? The pujari does deity worship. Evening time also very soon we should be having deity worship. Arati it is called. Now there are different meanings of it. What acharyas say, and this is a very elevated position though. At least for me, it's very elevated position. Arati is what? They offer fire to Krishna to protect Krishna from any negative energy. Now imagine this is Krishna consciousness, this is love. A, a common mind will go bonkers completely. Oh gosh, God, He provides everything. God is all powerful. And you are saying that you offer Him fire lamp, key lamp, fire lamp for God's protection? What sort of thing is this? God gives us protection and we are praying for God's protection. That is the sort of love or relationship, because practicing Krishna consciousness, the concept of God has to be given up at one point. And Krishna is a person, a youthful person, a young, youthful, sweet, beautiful person who actually needs protection. Such is the love, just like mother's love for her child. Mother knows my child is safe, but still out of love, oh no, no, he needs protection, she needs protection, like that. So when one is so much in love with Krishna, he offers arti to Krishna. But for what? For Krishna's protection and everything. That protect Krishna from anything wrong, anything negative, and let Radha and Krishna enjoy fully. So yeah, this is a good prayer to ask Krishna that Krishna, uh, I want to know you. So far, throughout my life, I have asked from Krishna, but matter. And this time, Krishna, I do not want from you, I want you. I do not want from you, as in, I do not want things from you. I want you. I asked this question. Okay, Harsha, you also say, and Lucy say, what is better? Which one is better? I love Krishna because I want him, or I want Krishna because I love him. I love Krishna because I want him, or I want Krishna because I love him.
I want Krishna because I love him.
Spot on, both of you. No, I want Krishna because I love him. So our cause has to be driven by love. We have to be driven by love. When we are driven by love, then even if troubles come in our life, we won't go crazy, we won't go frustrating, we won't go mad. We will be able to see Krishna's love there as well if we are driven by love for Krishna. Uh, So yeah, um, we asked, right? So the two things, which is again better? God, I have a plan. Could you approve my plan? Could you come in my plan, please? Could you fit in my plan? You're smart, huh? Krishna, I have a plan. Kindly approve my plan if you like. Hmm? If you like, kindly approve my plan. Another is, Krishna, can I know your plan, please, and fit me in your plan? So, one is, God, can you fit yourself in my plan? And another is, Krishna, kindly fit me in your plan. Which one is better? What do you say, Harsha? One is, Krishna, this is my plan. Kindly fit yourself in my plan. Another is, Krishna, what is your plan? Kindly fit me in your plan.
Yeah, we'll ask Krishna to fit us in his plan.
Exactly. And this is Krishna consciousness. This is Krishna consciousness. Now, the whole, if we can get one sutra, na, one principle, it is all expansion of that sutra only. Arjuna, first he had his plans. Huh? When he came to the battlefield, before seeing all the armies and all, he had his plans. And then as he was getting confused step by step, he was telling Krishna, this is my plan, kindly fit my plan. Why don't you approve my plan? What is wrong with you, God? Approve my plan. It is a good plan. Can you not see? Huh? So as he was getting step by step in more and more confusion, he was telling Krishna, Krishna, this is my plan. In a way, this is my plan. Approve it, approve it. But then he realized, no, no, things do not work like this. I don't want things to work like this. Then he surrendered to Krishna and told, okay, Krishna, now kindly reveal me your plan and please include me in your plan. Now, we all want to be rare, right? It is good to be rare. It is good to be unique. We are unique as well. Now, see, tell me, how many people do you think in this world are who actually pray to God, to Krishna, that Krishna, whatever your plan be, please fit me in your plan? There would be handful, very few, very few, very few. So dare to be rare. Yeah. And if we come up to Krishna with this prayer, will it not win his heart? Surely it will. Surely it will. If I come up with this prayer to Krishna, that Krishna, I want to know you. Kindly reveal your plan to me and please include me in your plan. And do we think if I get included in Krishna's plan, surely there is a plan for all of us Krishna can do if we allow him. Life will be morose or no, life will be very joyous, very joyous. Externally, there could be hardships, but the joy, just like a mother giving birth to a child, there's so much of physical bodily pain or any surgery and all like that. But the joy, just the joy itself. So, we might be going through troubles and hardships, but the joy will be boundless. Does that somewhat? This is the thing. If we can hold either, and See, either I involve Krishna in my plan, or another thing could be I have my own plan, I don't care Krishna. God doesn't exist at all. Or third could be Krishna, what is your plan? And please include me in your plan. There's no harm in trying for it. We might strike gold actually. And honestly, those who have tried this third option, they've all struck gold, pure gold. So that's something on this thingy, satisfaction. Then it speaks a bit on austerity and fasting. No unnecessary austerity on fasting is required. People in Western world, Eastern world, Northern world, Southern world, all around the globe do lots of actually fasting and austerity, most of which is unnecessary. First of all, it has to be in line with scriptures. There has to be a spiritual element to it. Otherwise, the beauty of Hare Krishnas is they do not protest. Whenever I was in a meeting with some devotees, and it was some government oriented meeting in the UK itself. Um, one of the I don't remember the government agency name, but doesn't matter. One of the government agency, and they work closely with many spiritual organizations, different faiths, and in the UK and outside of UK as well. And honestly, I'm not exaggerating. That lady, uh, she's a member of the parliament in the UK. She approached. I was there. Raghunath Prabhu was there, and Mohini Devidasi was there. She approached us and seeing us in devotional attire and everything, she was very pleased. Oh, wow, thank you, you guys came and you bring so variety. She knows Hare Krishna, she has heard devotees. But then she said this thing. Well, we have been discussing in this meeting, we wanted to discuss persecutions, troubles, and faith, how it crushes your faith, the society, and things and all, racism. But in my entire career, 36 years of her career working, she said, I never came across Hare Krishnas coming to me with some complaints like this. So I actually couldn't really meet many of you very closely. And she said, can we arrange another meeting? I would like to know. I know from a distance, Hare Krishnas, I've seen you guys on the streets chant and all, but I don't know much. And I've never received any complaints from you guys, any applications and all, wherein you are saying for you want to protest this or demonstrate. How do you guys work? What is the thought process and all? And honestly, Hare Krishnas, they don't go on the streets, Glasgow or anywhere holding banners or protesting. In fact, when we do Rath Yatra and Harinam, there are people who say, oh, what protest or demonstration are you doing? We say we are not protesting or demonstrating, we are chanting the holy names of Krishna. That's the difference all together. The perspective changes. Krishna consciousness teachings, Bhagavad Gita teachings, the perspective altogether changes, and a lot of onus comes on me. Rather than pointing finger at the world or pointing finger at my mom, dad, or someone else and all, it's more of a pointing finger to myself, owning, taking responsibility. This is a sign of growth. So penance and austerity, fasting, most of which is unnecessary and not required. And we concoct a lot of things. We make up. Concoct means, right, making up my own idea, my own creation, my own imagination, and start doing things like that. And in that, anything we do will find some sort of mental stimulation, and we take, okay, yes, this is spirituality. But actually, not. Actually, not. Further on, charity is good, should be given. It makes the heart soft, makes us compassionate. Charity is good, it's encouraged, it should be given. Food, money, whichever sense. Of course, one can see that it is going to the right person, the right hands, and the right thing, and all. But one need not be so pinicky about it and no so holding on to it. Giving charity brings us closer forms good relationships, fame. Wow, there's no big fame like, oh, he lives there. He got this car. He got this. Such fame doesn't excite a devotee. Wouldn't it? Shouldn't. But if someone recognizes, oh wow, he's actually a Krishna devotee. Wow, that brings so much of wow. The actually someone sees me as a devotee of Krishna. That fame, that joy is boundless. Uh, So anything which is in connection with Krishna is appreciated, is admired, should be cherished in life, and anything which puts us away from Krishna, it is better we come out of it. Any thoughts, questions, or comments? Sure. I have one question, but I will share the question just today, not expecting an answer today. Yeah. If you have an answer right now, please hold on to that answer. But tomorrow or next time when we connect, kindly share the answer then. Question is, come up with 5 things in this world which run or happen by chance. Simple question. Which run or happen by chance. So machine runs or that sort of thing. So which take place by chance, which happen by chance. 5 things in this world. Five is not a big like to say. 5 things in this world which happen by chance, which take place, which run by chance. In our lives in general, we see anything machine, this activity or this thing, it is by chance, that thing happens by chance. That's all. Like, should I give an example? Mm, don't know. It need not be a trick question. A simple question, isn't it? 5 things in this world which happen by chance. Maybe I will share example later on. So let's see next. महर्षिः सप्तपूर्व चत्वरो चत्वारो मनवस्तथा मानसा जाता येषां लोक इमा प्रजा. So Harsha, read translation and purport, please.
The seven great sages, and before them the four other great sages, and the Manus, progenitors of mankind, come from me, born from my mind, and all the living beings populating the various planets descend from them. The Lord is giving a genealogical synopsis of the universal population. Brahma is the original creature born out of the energy of the Supreme Lord, who is known as Hiranyagarbha. And from Brahma, all the seven great sages, and before them, four other great sages named Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara, and the 14 Manus are manifested. All these 25 great sages are known as the patriarchs of the living entities all over the universe. There are innumerable universes and innumerable planets within each universe, and each planet is full of population of different varieties. All of them are born of these 25 patriarchs. Brahma underwent penance for 1000 years of the demigods before he realized by the grace of Krishna how to create. Then from Brahma came Sanaka, Sananda, Sanatana, and Sanat Kumara, then Rudra, and then the seven sages. And in this way, all the Brahmanas and Kshatriyas are born out of the energy of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Brahma is known as Pitama, the grandfather, and Krishna is known as Prapitama, the father of the gra- grandfather. This is stated in the 11th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita, 11.39. The seven great sages, and before them the four great sages, and the Manus, progenitors of mankind, come from me, born from my mind, and all the living beings populating the various planets descend from them.
Hare Krishna. So, material science and spiritual science. Material science teaches us what matter comes from matter. Actually, material science teaches what life comes from matter. Yeah, life comes from matter. And spiritual science teaches us what life comes from life. There is a beautiful book actually, Prabhupada and his dialogue and discussions with Dr. T.D. Singh, the scientist disciple of Prabhupada, and others as well. And the book is called Life Comes from Life. So this scientist disciple of Prabhupada, named as Dr. T.D. Singh, His Holiness Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj, saint and scientist. He was saint in the Hare Krishna order and a scientist as well. He went from India, got a scholarship, went to America, maybe California, or I could be wrong, but certainly he went to America did PhD in the field of chemistry and was a scientist. And then during his study, he came across Prabhupada and was so impressed by Prabhupada's demeanor and the Vedic wisdom and teachings that he dedicated his life serving Srila Prabhupada. And he organized many international science conferences to bridge religion and spirituality. So when Dr. T.Z. Singh was in uni, studying still in uni, and was in touch with Prabhupada and devotees and Krishna consciousness, he asked his professor. He was from the chemistry background, studying chemistry in the university, and he was discussing with Prabhupada. So like life comes from life and all. So he asked his professor in the uni, "What is life made up of?" I'm a bit paraphrasing or saying it in my language. Say, what is life made up of? So we understand in uni, this is what is taught. Life is made up of some chemicals, isn't it? Enzymes, chemicals, or blood, bones, tissue, all these elements, that's life. So Dr. G. Singh said, okay, you need what? Calcium, this much calcium, this much phosphorus, this much acid, this much bones, this. So I supply all of this to you. Can you create life? That we cannot say, that we do not know. But we don't shy from saying that life comes from matter. Is there anywhere we actually see that matter is giving birth to life? No, it's not matter. Life comes from life. Yeah. So material science teaches us what? That we came from apes. Yeah, we came from animals, and this is, I think, quite worldwide thing in Western world and in Eastern world as well. That we came just everything, like we came from animals and all. But no, this is not what Krishna is saying, and this is not what the Vedic wisdom says. We came from Lord Brahma. Krishna, this stage is how the material creation came about. We understand from Srimad Bhagavatam. Krishna created Lord Brahma through his own energy itself. And Lord Brahma, he was very confused, perplexed for due reasons that, oh, who am I? Where am I? What am I supposed to do? And all. So he was searching here and there the source of his existence. Then he listened this word in the cosmos. The first word, what? Tapa, 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 which means austerity. So Lord Brahma got this message from Krishna to do tapa. He actually came out from the lotus navel of Krishna. Hmm? Lord Brahma came out and he was searching. Then he heard tapa, so he meditated for I think 1,000 years and all. He done very proper good meditation. Then Krishna came face to him, and actually Krishna shook hand with Lord Brahma He had a dialogue meeting with Lord Brahma and all, and he shook hand with Lord Brahma. Wow, find it very fascinating. And then Krishna gave him all the science, all the knowledge, and all how to create this world, this universe. And Lord Brahma created this universe. And further on, we come in that lineage of here it mentions, right? This Sapta Rishis, um, seven great sages, and before them, the four great sages, the Kumaras, the Manus. So, this is where we come from, the lineage and all. So, actually, in every sense we see, we'll find our heritage is great. Our heritage is very strong. All of us is very strong because what our connection is from Lord Brahma or from um, the sages and all, and ultimately our connection is from Krishna. So we have a rich culture, rich heritage. Everything is uh, yojakas tatra durlabha. There's this Sanskrit in Sanskrit. Yojakas tatra durlabha, as in everyone has the potential, but just we need someone who can stir up that potential in me, who can help me come to that potential. To share a example, to share a quote, we all heard of Hanuman, right? So we all know Hanuman, and we all heard of Lord Ram and Rama. So we know that Lord Ram created from the ocean. Mother Sita was there on the other side, and Hanuman, he flew, covered up the whole ocean, flying, and he went to find out the whereabouts of Mother Sita. But before he flew, he was in doubt. He wasn't sure. Oh, can I do this? I want to do this, but I'm not sure if I can do this, and so much so. And at that point, there's this devotee of Lord Ram, Jambavan. He came to Hanuman. He spoke with Hanuman, and he encouraged, he revived, he told Hanuman that you have this power, you're the son of Lord, you're the son of Sun, Lord Surya. You have this power, and when you were young, you actually used to fly, but you were naughty, mischievous, and also now that that power was taken back, and again you have this power, you can do it. So Jambavan, he knew the spirit of Hanuman, the capacity, the strength, and he revived it altogether. And Hanuman could do that. Uh, find in boxing, coach, yes, you can do it, you can fight, you can fight. Likewise, that. So we need just someone who can activate the dormant spiritual strength amongst all of us. And who can activate that? One who is actually spiritually realized, who is actually spiritually wise. Only he can activate. So in society, we find sometimes I find I'm in need of help, which is very good, which is fine, but I don't know who to approach for help. That is very important. Who do I approach for help? And here, Arjuna is approaching Krishna for help. So, likewise, if we approach Krishna, Bhagavad Gita devotees for help, we will find the right help, the ultimate help. So, it's not that we have a strong culture, strong heritage, strong potential. Everything is there. Just time is separation. Prabhupada said, like everything, temples and everything is there. Time is separation. So within ourselves as well, we have that capacity. We should be confident. We should have that faith. And if we take good devotee association with due time, everything will be coming out. Everything will be revealed. This Krishna consciousness knowledge. It is like transmission. What does transmission mean? Yeah, it is like a flow, like an energy or current flow which is transmitted. So it's not like the only effort we have to do is just to express that I mean it, I want it, just that. Rest everything will come about on its own naturally. And in academic study and so much, there's lots of brain exercise has to be done. Wow. Only then I can get some understanding. Actually, in school, college, uni, if I see, there's Let's study more of cramming, more of mugging up, more of that, and we don't even understand many of the concepts, many of the things, but it's just because we need to score grades and also we go through it. And when we start working, also pretty much the same thing. What to do, we need to pay the bills and also we carry on. But in Krishna consciousness, it's not like that. Things would come about naturally, things would make sense naturally. Uh, the subtle workings of this life, the subtle workings of within myself, Krishna will reveal. Krishna will tell us where there are small blockages in the heart. It's the best heart surgery Krishna has done to Arjuna and doing to us as well. Okay, any thoughts, questions, or comment? Okay, let's see the next and the last one for today, maybe. एतां विभूतिं योगं च मम यो वेत्ति तत्त्वतः स विकल्पेन योगेन युज्यते नात्र संशय. So I asked Lucy to read.
One who is factually convinced of his opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt. The highest summit of spiritual perfection is knowledge of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Unless one is firmly convinced of the different opulences of the Supreme Lord, he cannot engage in devotional service. Generally, people know that God is great, but they do not know in detail how God is great. Here are the details. If one knows factually how God is great, then naturally he becomes a surrendered soul and engages himself in the devotional service of the Lord. When one factually knows the opulences of the Supreme, there is no alternative but to surrender to him. This factual knowledge can be known from the descriptions in Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita and similar literatures. In the administration of this universe, there are many demigods distributed throughout the planetary system, and the chief of them are Brahma, Lord Shiva, and the four great Kumaras, and the other patriarchs. There are many forefathers of the population of the universe, and all of them are born of the Supreme Lord Krishna. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna, is the original forefather of all forefathers. These are some of the opulences of the Supreme Lord. When one is firmly convinced of them, he accepts Krishna with great faith and without any doubt, and he engages in devotional service. All this particular knowledge is required in order to increase one's interest in the loving devotional service of the Lord. One should not neglect to understand fully how great Krishna is, for by knowing the greatness of Krishna, one will be able to be fixed in sincere devotional service. One who is factually convinced of this opulence and mystic power of mind engages in unalloyed devotional service. Of this there is no doubt.
Thank you. The teachings of Bhagavad Gita should make us realize. See, the best way to stop sinning, say, the best thing, and it's not that easy, I suppose, at least for me, I would say, getting this sort of wisdom or carrying this sort of wisdom. What if I can be always in remembrance that Krishna is watching me, that Krishna is seeing, Krishna is listening. If at all I can have this much of faith, we are studying Bhagavad Gita. How many of us think actually that yes, Krishna is present, Krishna is listening. If I have this much of faith, yes, Krishna is listening, Krishna is present. Hmm? If I, whatever I'm doing, wherever I'm going, if I can keep this much of sanity, this much of wisdom that Krishna is watching, then I will never feel like alone or lonely or no negative thoughts or nothing. I will find all the right motivation, encouragement. And this is what, in order to love someone, what leave love, in order to like someone, it is important to know someone. Bhakti yoga is all about loving Krishna. And because we are so conditioned, so we need to know some of the opulences that helps us build our faith in Krishna. And when we want to love Krishna so much so that we really want to get rid of this concept of God altogether. No. To begin with, concept of God, understanding of God, absolute reality is very much required. And then it has to be given up and it will go naturally as well. It will go when we know more and more Krishna as a person. Right now, we may be trying to understand Krishna as God, but then we want to understand him as a person and then furthermore fall in love with him. So, this is what Krishna is so far, and further on, he will help us understand himself, know him a bit so that we can love him more. So, I will end with this question. Next time when we meet up, kindly let me know 5 things in the world, in the universe, which happen by chance, which take place by chance. Hmm? Hare Krishna. I can give an example, but maybe next time when I'll try to give an example. But yeah, I think we can. 5 is not a big number. I asked 5 things in this world which happen by chance, hmm, which run by chance. Hare Krishna. Okay, I'll let you. I like creating hype. Some of you know, right? So, Hare Krishna.